another wonderful day in coastal British Columbia. So I'm getting a lot of questions about why vegetarianism, because most of the people that know me know that I am not a vegetarian at all, although I respect whatever your decisions are. That's the key. But let's talk about why I'm talking about these various diets here and in my other channel. Let's get into it. On this health journey, I have come to realize a few things here. And my approach now is I back it up with a little bit of science, but really, I don't use science at all because science can be bastardized to fit a narrative. We all know that people used to cite coffee, it's bad for you. Coffee, it's good for you. Anyway, saturated fats. Some of the worst science out there. And second off, that science was done in an era where the technology was not available to determine LDL particle sizes. We can now test for that. We can test for HDL particle sizes, etc., etc. LDL is not a bad cholesterol. It just needs to be understood better. So where am I at with all of this? Well, nature's rules. Nature has rules out there, guys. Our biology hasn't changed for over 30 to 50,000 years. And if we go back pre-agricultural, pre-root cellars, pre-all of that, teeth were straight, bones were much better than what we have now. A lot of stuff. Yes, we live longer now. That's kind of a given, but we've got intervention out there. Hence, don't mind the science in many cases if it keeps me going. But in nature's rules is pretty clearly defined. I'm in coastal British Columbia here, latitude 49. I'm clearly outside the tropics. I challenge you to stand at your window and stare out the window and imagine not having glass, but imagine the zombie apocalypse happened and there is no more grocery delivery from the tropics. What are you going to eat? Also, in the zombie apocalypse, all the people who were using these bastardized fruits that didn't exist even 200 years ago. I'll take apples as an example. The last thing I read on apples versus 200 years ago, 4 times the sugar that they have now. So all you have to do is stand there and look at the window and imagine that it's December 31st, and I challenge you to say where you're going to get your carbohydrates from. So ketosis was a natural cycle in what we did dietary-wise. And even in the tropics, you're going to find there are periods where the guys were in ketosis. I test some of my crew, and they were in ketosis, guys, in the tropics. Just saying. Just saying. There is a natural cycle to this. Now let me walk the cycle through with vitamin D as an example. Because again, they vilified the sun, which is not right. But our modern brains get in the way, and I would suggest the D-Minder app. It will help you to get your vitamin D properly from the sun, because we are not going to eat seal blubber, which is how the Inuit used to get it in the winter months. But the maximum that you could get out of seal blubber was around that 1,000 to 1,500 international units. So our skin was the way to store. Summer was the time of blueberries and fruit, and that's when you fattened. Starches fattened, and you've got to remember, starch wasn't really introduced into Europe until after they discovered North America. That's when the potato arrived in Europe. So think about these cycles, guys. It's pretty important. There is no one diet. You cannot write a diet book because your latitude makes a difference. What I suggest, if you really want to harness into this, is try and find the oldest foraging book that you can find, because in the foraging book that I've got, It also talks about meats, when the meat was fat, okay? So again, the cycle is we ate the berries, we ate the starches, we got fat, we were in the sun, we made our vitamin D, along came winter, the meat was fat, we ate the meat, we were in ketosis, we started to lose weight, we released vitamin D from our fat stores, yay, we get through the whole winter into the summer again with good vitamin D levels. Then you go into your eggs, your lean meat, and back into berries again. It's not rocket science, guys. You don't need anything more than that. And so that's where I come at when I talk about carnivore, when I talk about ketosis, when I talk about vegetarianism. And again, I will never talk veganism because you need at least those all-important non-inseminated eggs if you're a vegan. It is not a bird. Eat the egg and get your all-important vitamin B12. Otherwise, you are going to tank. I understand the moral reasons, but I'll leave it at that. There you go. That's a quick shotgun on nature's rules when it comes to diet. Later, Gators.